Yo, what's up, folks? It's your boy Sports PSP. Hope everyone's enjoying their day. Want to talk about something actually has nothing to do with sports. It has to do with Chris Rock's Netflix special, Selective Outrage. And Chris Rock spoke about a lot of particular subjects. Cancel culture. He spoke about abortion. He spoke about a lot of subjects, but there was one subject everyone wanted Chris to get off his chest was the Oscars incident. As we all know, last year's Oscars, Chris Rock went on stage. He made a joke about Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, about her hair, referencing Demi Moore's movie, G.I. Jane. And when Chris Rock made the joke, everyone was laughing, including and particularly Will Smith. But of course, Jada didn't take the joke too well, which led Will Smith to go on stage and smack Chris Rock in the face. And then as Will Smith went back to his chair, he shouted, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth," directed at Chris Rock. And it was very uncomfortable, and it led to Will Smith resigning from the Oscars, as well as him being banned from the Oscars for 10 years. So people wanted to hear what Chris Rock had to say. And I watched a little bit of it. I heard him say, "Y'all know what happened to me getting smacked in the face by Suge Smith." Chris Rock also brought up entanglement. That was a reference to when Jada and Will, when they went on the Red Table Talk, and how Jada admitted that she had an entanglement or an affair with August Alsina, who at the time was their son Jaden's friend. And Chris Rock just went after Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith and pulled no punches. And he admitted that it still hurts to this day, him getting smacked in the face by Will Smith. He also said some things like, as far as with the entanglement, she hurt him way more than he hurt me. Chris Rock also claimed that he's not a victim. He said, "I'm not a victim, baby. You will never see me on Oprah or Gayle crying. Never gonna happen." And it was the first time he actually spoke about it. So what were my thoughts? I'm glad that Chris Rock actually got it off on his chest, because we wanted to know what was going on, what was processing through his mind. And I'm glad he got it off his chest. Now, Will Smith has apologized about the Oscars incident. Here's all I'm going to say regarding the Oscars. It was a horrible incident. What Will Smith did was flat out wrong. It was inexcusable. I felt like he could have handled the situation differently by talking to Chris Rock after the show or during a commercial break and informing Chris Rock that Jada didn't take the G.I. Jane joke too well. And I'm quite sure that Chris Rock would have apologized and understood. That's a better way of handling the situation, but unfortunately, that is not the reality. And it was a horrible moment because it took away everything. What should have been a great night turned out to be a disaster. But I not only hold Will Smith accountable, I also hold Jada Pinkett Smith accountable, because she should have stepped in and prevented Will from making a huge mistake. Jada knows Will Smith. And for anyone to say, well, Jada didn't know, how is she supposed to know what Will's going to do? BS. You should know. You've been married to Will for 25 years. You know exactly how he is. You know exactly how he thinks. Jada Pinkett Smith should have stepped in and said, "No, honey, please sit back down. This isn't the way to do it. Let's enjoy the rest of the show. We'll handle that situation, but let's handle it a different way." Jada should have stepped in to prevent that. But the fact that she didn't do that, and the fact that she was sitting there at the Oscars laughing, tells me she did not care at all. And Will clearly did it because he wanted to get Jada's approval. And I've said this before, Jada Pinkett Smith, I don't care what anybody says, she does not love Will Smith. That's the undisputed truth. That's the truth. She admitted on her show, The Red Table Talk on Facebook, that she never wanted to marry Will, that the entanglement, how he spent a lot of time preparing for Jada's 40th birthday party, and how Jada pulled him to the side and said, "This is the most ridiculous display of your ego." the entanglement, not only she embarrassed Will and put Will in a horrible situation, she also put her children, particularly Jaden Smith, in a horrible situation, because that entanglement is not only with any man, it's friends with your son. So not only you have no respect for your husband, you also have no respect for your son. So what does that say about you as a mother? And you also said you wanted to help out August when he was battling mental health issues at the time. Wow, I didn't know messing with your son's best friend, that's the best way to handle someone's mental health. And of course, the letter Will Smith wrote to Tupac: "Dear Tupac, please come back so mommy and me can be happy." Will Smith wasn't even alive at the time when Tupac, or wasn't even born at the time when Tupac was there. So it's coming from Jada. And I think the best thing for Will Smith to do is to divorce Jada, move on from her, and be with somebody else, because clearly Jada doesn't love him. She doesn't love him. She keeps humiliating him. She keeps embarrassing him and the family. She's using him for clout. The only reason why Jada is still with Will is because she knows she can't get a lifestyle from any place else. A certain lifestyle, money, platform, opportunities. Will Smith is worth $350 million. I just think Jada has treated Will like trash. And yeah, I'm also going to say she's jealous of Will. She's jealous of Will. She's jealous of the career that Will has. No matter what work Jada has done, is nowhere near Will's work. And I'm just glad that Chris Rock finally got it off his chest and actually spoke about the situation. Hopefully he moves on. I hope that Chris Rock and Will Smith move on from this as well. And I hope at some point they have a conversation and a reconciliation. I wish they can do that, not only just for themselves, but also for society in general. A better way for the younger generation, whether millennials or Gen Zers, to handle or address problems. That's what I hope to see one day. But anyway, let me know, what's your thoughts about the whole Chris Rock situation? Were you happy with what Chris Rock had to say? What were your thoughts? Do you think Jada Pinkett Smith doesn't love Will Smith? Do you think it's time for Will Smith to finally move on from Jada? Would you also like to see Chris and Will reconcile at some point? Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Other than that, it's your boy Sports PSP. Hope everyone's enjoying the rest of their day. And as usual, folks, God bless.